Alright guys, I want to redo this video. I'm sorry, I'm doing this video because the one in my files isn't very long or in depth, and I've had a lot of people asking questions. Basically, this is basically what I do now. Okay, first of all, these little white triangles, they don't repaint anymore. I know I've said a lot in the group that they are repainting and they're shit, but I don't know what I've done because I haven't changed the settings. Jamie said I had the wrong settings, but I haven't changed the settings, and all of a sudden they're not painting anymore. So I'm not really 100% sure what I've done. But look, I'm always out to look for improving my way of trading. I mean, those of you who have got my videos and seen my videos will notice now that I don't trade a lot like in the videos. I trade a lot not a lot different, but different. I basically now, even though I've got the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen up, I don't really trade them very much. If I see a setup, I'll take it, but I literally go to bed early at night, my time, so I can wake up and spend a few hours on the chart in the middle of the night on the US session. I basically only trade the US. Now, as you can see here, before I say this, I'm not one of these, I'm not one of these people I'm going to tell you where to put your take profit or your stop loss or how much money you should put on each trade and all that stuff. I'm very careful about all that stuff. That's between you and only you, right? Because everyone's different with their risk factor, their wealth in their thing, and I don't want to get in trouble with people telling them to put a stop here or a take profit there or don't use a stop, etc., etc. All I'll tell you is that I use a manual trailing stop. I don't let the machine do it. I do it myself. So as soon as it goes into profit by, not like straight away, but like if it's like I'm using 200 pip bricks, if it goes 100 pips or 150, I'll move it to break even straight away. You just keep moving it like every 200 or 300 pips that it moves, and I'll just move the stop. Okay, so I got that out the way. So I'd appreciate it if everyone doesn't ask me about stop losses and lot sizes and stuff, because that's up to you. Okay, so my main rules are that the arrows, the BD arrows, and the TCA line are in agreement. What I mean by that, red and red, green and green. Okay, if I get that little arrow, this little bugger here, confirming it like down here, that's just an extra confirmation. What I use the MACD RSI for mainly is the volume, the histogram. When the histogram is above the two lines, that's volume in the market, and when it's below, then it's less volume. All right. So you can see here, this trade here, this went for 2 days at around about 12,000 pips. Okay, and you would get out. You would literally let that run and just keep moving your stop down, or until it hit your stop. Now, it probably would have hit here, depending on where you put your stop, right? But I mean, I would have got out after that arrow painted and say 1 or 2 blocks above, or the other side of the TCA line, especially when it turned green. So you would have given back probably about 700-800. You would have given back probably nearly 1,000 pips, but that to me shows that's the end. But on the whole, I found this a very, very good way to trade. It's not very often that I lose because of what I do now, but the main thing that I like about what I'm doing now is I'm keeping myself out of bad trades. Once upon a time, I might have a trade that would go a bit into drawdown because I was getting into bad trades, right? This here keeps you out. What I do is really keeping you out of bad trades because, like, say, for instance, here, I'll just make this a little bit better. See this trade here? This is obviously a loss. But how I would deal with that is not even waiting for the arrow. As soon as that color change happens and that brick is painted across there, I just get out. Now, if it comes back down, I'll just get back in again. So that's about 600 pips in drawdown. So then I get this brick, this one, the next trade, even though it pulled back. And yeah, if I was in that live, I'd be going, oh my God, what is going on? Blah, blah, blah. But you just got to trust the thing, because down here, you can see that it's on the way up with the volume and the MACD. But then again, I would look at this here. I would have got in it. So you would have got out either at that bar, that brick, or that brick, right? Then you would have just done a reverse trade. So you're down 850 pips. So what you would do is you just keep moving the stop and try your best to recover it, and it will come back down here, and you get out probably there, or as soon as you got your 850 and a little. Me personally, as soon as I got the 850 and maybe a little bit of profit, so there's 850, I might have got out somewhere there, probably 900 if I could, and just got back out. Because the name of the game for me is just making money the best you can. And when you make a mistake, the best thing you can do is cut your losses. Don't let your trades go too hard into drawdown. Cut your losses and try and make it back on the next trade and then start over again, right? So the thing that I can't get my head around how close or how accurate BD arrows are. I mean, look, this one here, it's a non-trade because they're not agreeing, right? But this one is agreeing and you've got pips, right? This one here, you're not getting in yet because it's red, changes over. Then you've got the other arrow, so you've got pips. You've got pips here. As soon as they in agreement, pips, right? I wouldn't have got this one. I wouldn't have done this one at all because of this strong movement here, right? I would have been waiting for that one, even though you've got the double. I just look at this really strong movement, and I know this is not a trade. I mean, even though you're getting like 400 pips or whatever, I know myself I would have stayed out of that because I know by this strength here and the volume in the market here, that's going up. And if you've got a issue with it and you're not really sure, just go up a couple of levels in bricks and you'll see where the price was at that period. It's probably in a strong uptrend because of this. So yeah, you can back test this as much as you like, right? I suggest you use higher bricks to figure out your trend, and maybe use your entry on a lower setting if you want. I don't bother with that, but if you're just starting out, that's what I would do. Look at this trade here. You haven't got in yet. You would have been waiting for it to change, and as soon as it changes, you got this. Yeah, plodded along for a little bit, but then it took off. This one here is what I like to see. These ones here, like pretty much is in on this brick and bang, off you go. This one here, even though it's kind of moving sideways a bit, you probably would get in there and get a handful of pips. So you're getting the gist. It's very simple, very accurate. I swear by it because I've never said I was a very good trader. I don't really fully understand everything about trading. The one thing that I've worked out in my head for my trading, I just want to make money. I don't need to know about everything that goes on in trading. I don't understand a lot of the technical stuff. All I do is try to make money the best that I can and try to avoid losing money. So I just keep adjusting and my strategies and stuff until I figure things out that help me stay out. So you wouldn't be in this one. You'd be in this one. But I'm not sure if I would have taken that as a loss there. Not really 100% sure. Maybe I would have waited for one more brick because it's only just over it. You wouldn't be in this one. You would have got into this one. I wouldn't have got into that one at all, even though it did go up. I would have been in this one. Yep. So you can see here, that's the beauty of it is, even though that is one, I probably wouldn't have got in it because of the MACD and the RSI. And very low volume too. But it did win. Trying to be as honest as I can here. That would have been a loss because I would have actually got into that one. Because it would have come back, and as soon as that arrow, even though that was red, I just would have classed that as a loss. That's a loss. If you could be bothered, let's just quickly, I'm not going to keep this going much longer. Let's see the time. 9:1:30. Yeah. Oh, maybe you might have if you hung around a little bit. You had a. Nah, I would have got out of it. That one there, I might have hung on to there. No, I wouldn't have. I would have got out of it, and I would have got out of it on that too. So that's 2 losses, and I'd have to try and make it up on that one. So yeah, all right. Their class is 2 losses. You've got some pips there. You get back in it there, and you might be able to break even. So it is what it is. But I mean, if you're sort of one of these people that are willing to risk your account a little bit, right, and you just had the balls to hang on for 1,000 pips, in the end you would have got 600 pips and made some money. But not me. I would have got out of it. Get the next one. I mean, win, not a trade, not a trade, not a trade. That's a trade once it's about here somewhere. I would have got in about there and got some pips, but maybe not. These are the trades that I live for. See the distance between the MACD and the RS and the bricks and the TCA line. What's the distance? That's what you like. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and probably best to once you start seeing this sort of crap here, once the lines are very close to the TCA line, the bricks are close to the TCA line, stay out of it. That's probably the best thing to do. When you see quick movement up and down and you can tell it's consolidation shit, stay out of it. This is what you like. You like the TCA line away from the bricks. Not sure why there's not a BD arrow there. Maybe it's down lower. Oh yeah, look, it's right down here. Look at that for a movement. It's green, both green, and the movement's heaps. But me personally, I would have got out. Even though it's green, I'd have been definitely out there or there. In fact, I would have got out there. I probably might have jumped back in again. No, there's no arrow, so I wouldn't have got back in. I would have got back in here somewhere after this arrow. Anyway, you can see that this is what I'm doing now. You can see the potential. I'll quickly show you my settings because that's what everyone asks to see. Okay, and that's the settings that I use now. Okay, pause this and have a look. Okay. That's the settings for that. Settings for MACD. Alright, just pause it and have a look. And that's it. So hopefully that helps some people out. Like I said, you've got very big potential to make some good money using this. I love it. And if you can trade the US, it's the best time to do it, alright? Okay. This will be put in the with the other Renko videos. Take it easy, guys. Thanks. To be honest, this will probably be the last video I do doing this. I think there's enough videos in there now. In fact, I should remove some of the other videos, but because there's new people all the time coming into it, I think I'll just leave them there. But I just think that I'll be doing this for quite a while, so I don't think there'll be any more updates for quite a while. Take it easy, guys.